Hello, I'm Steve Fawkes, the founder of EP Group. Over the last 18 months, we've established a platform that's designed to scale impact and purpose. And we're now ready to scale the business, and we need to bring in capital to accelerate that growth and the impact. So I'm glad to be speaking to you today. It's increasingly clear that to address the environmental problems such as climate change, loss of biodiversity, etc., we need to move beyond sustainability to a net zero and regenerative economy in which companies actually positively impact on those problems. And that transition is a market opportunity worth £600 billion a year globally. Many of the solutions to the problems, though, have to be and will be delivered by SMEs designing, developing, and implementing projects or components of projects that support that transition. But as we all know, SMEs have a number of problems. They lack access to patient capital, they have succession problems, they have problems accessing larger projects. And at the same time as we're seeing these environmental problems and looking at SMEs, we're also, of course, seeing a massive rise in ESG and impact investing. But for institutional investors, it's really hard to invest in SMEs. So the solution that we've developed is a platform, and this platform agglomerates SMEs into a decentralized group of companies with a common operating system and reporting systems. Agglomeration means that these companies are consolidated for accounting purposes, autonomously run but within a common operating system and parameters agreed with the group, and supported by group resources such as the board, specialist teams, and an advisory board. And the group creates that additional value through enhancing the performance, both in financial terms but also in impact terms, incentivizing teams through share ownership, and also network effects within the group itself. And also seeks value realization through a listing. To date, the founders have invested about £1 million of capital, and we have 4 operating companies, 3 of which are involved in different aspects of the energy transition, and 1 is designing and delivering net zero buildings. Terms are agreed for the 5th investment, which is a specialist company working in the battery and control space, and the group's been valued at 15.7 million. We have very clear acquisition criteria, so obviously companies that are involved in net zero and regenerative infrastructure in some way, companies that have complementary products and services to other companies in the group, and are in alignment with at least one of the 5 SDGs that we're most connected to. Also, founders that are looking to exit, but not necessarily an immediate exit, and positive EBITDA of 300 to 500K, and of course, identifiable growth potential. So the acquisition criteria are tightly defined. We built the platform. We're now ready to scale through acquisition and organic growth. Current revenues, 1.2 million, net assets of 4 million, and our strategy is to acquire 5 to 10 companies and grow the revenues to 10 million and then list in 2025. Business owners that are in our acquisition pipeline really like what we've got to offer, which is being part of a larger group but retaining a degree of autonomy. Network effects, being able to work between the groups within the companies within the group, and our focus on purpose and impact, and also, of course, a clear pathway to value realization and liquidity through listing. What we're offering to investors is an ESG impact investment, downside protection through the portfolio effect and the value of our existing investments, a target 7x return, and also, along the way, we create other investment opportunities in larger energy and built environment projects. We built a strong team with experience of running both private and public companies, experience of growing companies from SMEs to hundreds of millions of revenue, and also experience of making multiple acquisitions and investing in the energy transition and the clean technology space. We've got a strong advisory board, some of whom are shown on this slide, and each advisory board member has specific expertise which is relevant to some aspect of the group's activities. So to sum up, we built an impact-led platform which is now ready to scale through acquisition. We're raising up to £5 million to execute on this strategy and acquire 5 to 10 companies and also support the growth plans of the existing businesses. We've raised $520,000 to date. We've got a very highly experienced team, and we are an ESG impact investment with full ESG and impact reporting. We're targeting a 7x return and liquidity through a listing. And our existing assets and the portfolio effect give downside protection. And as I said, we'll be creating additional opportunities. So at EP Group, we're really focused on realizing value while creating positive, measurable, scalable impact in the transition to a net zero and regenerative economy in an equitable way. And we're doing that both directly through the work of the companies themselves, but also indirectly through the way that we're structured. So if you want to support us and achieve quality returns through accelerating impact and purpose, we'd welcome you as an investor. Thank you.